Hello everyone and welcome back to DCS and welcome back once again to the Farmer. I'm back on Enigma's Cold War server on the Caucasus map and we're going to do another one of my analysis videos where I look at some of the flyouts I was doing solo and just talk through things I learnt, things I did well, things I could have done better. So anyway, let's jump into the first bit. So here we are on the first engagement here, just past a load of friendly helicopters, being vectored into two Tiger IIs in Mirage, and just as I'm coming over the ridge I see this guy, and turn on to him, see him launch, he's engaging a friendly. I do make a mistake here that I decide to fire. These missiles really don't have the range for that kind of hit. I was really just trying to get him before he could shoot down the friendly, and it was no good anyway. The missile was away, hit the friendly. But I still try and keep on him. Here again, I've noticed in the replay that I do make a mistake, that I was pulling a bit of lead pursuit there, where really I should have been pulling a bit more lag pursuit, get better angles. I was fine for range. Unfortunately, that kind of cost me here. Then here I end up with a big bit of a problem with the Mig-19's canopy. It is really, really bad in terms of visibility. I think this is the first time it's really bothered me this much. I don't know why this session in particular, it really got in the way. It is a really, really thick canopy. Part of it, I think, is I've moved stuff around my office, so my head tracker was a bit off. So every time I tried to dip my head down to see out the top, it lost tracking. But even though I've not been able to get on either of these two that I'm engaged with, and the Mirage that's joining in, I did keep them busy enough for my friendly Mig-21s there to come in and nicely clean up. So that is all very good. And I've been using what I learned in one of the previous ones, which was that if I lose sight of the enemy, I do tend to just keep turning here, and that really works well on the Caucasus map, because the AIM-9Bs that they have, or the equivalent, really just can't deal with an actual turning opponent, and so I'm safe from guns as long as I'm turning. Doesn't do my energy state very well, which we'll see comes back to bite me a bit later, but does at least mean I don't eat any missiles from people I don't see. So again, trying to get eyes on targets here. I know I'm merged with Tiger IIs and Mirages. This session, the Blues outnumbered the Reds heavily. It was something like 2-1, nearly 40-20. And I decided to join the underdog side, since that's the habit I've gotten into. And so, unsurprisingly, in both the engagements here today, I'm going to be heavily outnumbered. But that just means target-rich environment, lots of fun to be had. So here, this F5 does turn around in front of me. I just can't quite get the guns on target. I do forget exactly how spaced out the cannons are on the MiG-21, that I tend to only arm one cannon at a time, normally left cannon first, but then I do need to keep that in mind, that it's going to fire from the left-hand side. Now, weirdly, that guy, I think, crashed into the ground there. I'm not entirely sure. Thought he crashed during the time, I didn't quite see it in the replay. Fortunately, this guy did not crash. Makes a pass that I managed to dodge, mostly pure luck there. Thankfully, I was checking 6. Unfortunately, I can't capitalise on that because I'm in a really bad energy state at this point, right on the bleeding edge of stalling. And so, as I try and whip my nose around, the plane just says no. I do manage to stabilise it. I don't think he's in the best energy state either. He thankfully misses that hind there. trying to get guns on. He does flare. I think I'm a bit too close at this point for him to worry about missiles. But I'm trying to get guns on. I do finally manage to get a bit of a chunk of him. Not enough to take him out, but enough to do some damage to his flight surfaces. I'm not entirely sure exactly what I hit. He is a bit more sluggish after this. Unfortunately, not sluggish enough that he doesn't nearly get guns on me. F5 there zips past me, incredible speed. I think in this part of the engagement I am engaged by 2 F5s and the Mirage. Warthog's coming in, but I'm not too worried about the Warthog. On Caucus they don't get any AIM-9s. Fortunately there the Mirage does manage to get his guns on. I take a hit but don't really seem too damaged either. But he stalls out and crashes. I think I did a little bit more damage to him with my guns pass than he realised, and so he just couldn't recover that there. So I do get one guns kill. Quite happy with that. Unfortunately, I do still have this remaining F5 right on me, and he does not miss his gunshot. Really good shot there, actually. And unfortunately, I do my best to recover it, but not enough altitude. So yeah, good shot, Sundial 7-4. Very surprising to see a Tiger get such a good little burst hit there. Definitely better at guns than I am. Anyway, this is the next sortie. I had a bit of a frustrating start to this one. I was being dodged quite a lot. I kept nearly getting kills and then having a friend come in and shoot down the enemy. Or one time I was about to fire off a shot when this just lagged out. Right, there we saw. The Tiger just passes right in front of me. Again, the canopy is really hard to see, so even though I knew the guy was close, knew vaguely where he was just right in the canopy bar, so I didn't see him until he nearly flew into me, or rather, I nearly flew into him. We do then go into a out-of-plane fight here. I'm trying here to not bleed off as much energy as aggressively as I did in the previous one. Nicely come down onto this guy's 6. Flip over onto my Fox T since I've got a good angle, but don't quite get the lock. By the time I do get the lock there and get the missile away, he's already started to evade. He does crash into the ground there. I don't think I can really take that as a maneuver kill. I guess my missile did make him panic and crash, but I feel I didn't really contribute much to that one at all. Anyway, I'm still in a fairly dangerous situation. We've got another Tiger 17 kilometers away, and 17 kilometers disappears really fast in these jets. I am now unfortunately one stick down, so I've only got the single Fox 2, and it's not a great Fox 2. And I don't know what it is about the Farmer in particular, but having an uneven load really throws this plane off, or at least it feels like it throws it off a lot more than, say, the Mig-21 or even an F5.
146, 10, 700, beam northeast, Tiger 2.
I just see dots off my nose. Various planes crossing each other. I'm trying to identify which is which. The MiG-21 is in the lead, so this is the Tiger 2 ahead of me. Doesn't seem to have a huge amount of energy. I don't have the best angle here, so I'm trying to slot in behind him. I would like to use my Fox 2.
Overlord, Starfire 1-1, boogie dope.
Yeah, plane struggling a bit with the turn.
Starfire 1-1, Overlord.
Fortunately, just as I'm getting at the right angle, he starts to pull away, and I waste that Fox 2. I really should have held on to it, because if I'd held on to it, I could have got a really good kill here, but not too much trouble. The MiG-21 comes in. Unfortunately, his missiles also go wanting. I'm just trying to back up this MiG-21. He's very close behind, so I'm wondering if he's going to overshoot. In which case, I'll be in a good position. There's a second MiG-21 also on the same guy. Do then take note that we do have a Mirage coming in. Still trying to stick on this main guy.
332, 10, 600.
MiG-21s can struggle to turn with an F5 if the F5 is flown right.
337.
But in this case, they not only turn with them, but they manage to get a hit. In fact, that was another farmer there that gets their hit, I just noticed. But I am now merged with the Mirage. At this point, a bit unusually for this one, I am not outnumbered. There are several friendlies in the area. I do get good eyes on the Mirage here. Mirage really has that recognisable wing shape, sort of like 21, but with the wings a little bit more swept. He does drop his tanks, so he knows he is engaging now. Fortunately, there is notes there that sabers are coming in. So try the snapshot, no luck on the snapshot, and then horizontal scissors with this guy. Yeah, far away a little bit, don't manage to get anything good. See, friendly going in, friendly gets the kill, but there's another farmer there. Doing really good work, just picking off targets that other people are engaging, so good teamwork there.
10, 1400.
Fortunately, there's absolutely no rest. Would have liked a bit of a mental reset at this point, but there's just plane after plane coming in. It was very full server. This was on a Sunday night. And so just many targets.
2900. Hot. Begin.
Do have Overlord voice and Text Lord active, since I'm flying on my own. Shouldn't be too much. And I do like having the Overlord voice set to just a little bit closer, so I do get an audible merge call. Right, desperately trying to find these things and merge with the Vigan, who is a little higher than me, but I don't see him. Again, here it's the farmer's cockpit just isn't the best for visually IDing stuff. It's times like this that do make me just feel like jumping back in the F5, just because the F5 has such a nice cockpit. Either way, doing my best to catch sight of really anything at this point. I've blown straight through a large group of them. Do finally get eyes on targets moving ahead. Only 3 kilometers out from a Vigan, so now I need to react to something. See a missile being launched. Was from a MiG-21. Saber goes off my nose, but the Vigan is closer here. I'm in better position to engage the Vigan, so decide I'll go for him. See, this is turning into a fair bit of a furball here. Multiple Mirages, Sabres, Vigans, all in the same area. All of a sudden I am now outnumbered. I'm coming in here but really don't have the angle to get guns on, so I loosen up my turn, try and conserve some of my energy. Realise there's more planes underneath me.
Tiger 2. Chemist 11. Threat. Bra. 239. 10. 900.
Planes here struggling speed-wise.
Chemist 11. Merged. 332. 700.
Try and come around. I'm thinking this is a good angle or good opportunity.
900. Saber.
F5 there just blows past me. Pure luck that I don't die.
Overlord Rocket 91.
Do get a nice piece of him there. In that pass.
Rocket 91. Overlord. Lord.
And
Warning,
lots
12
of missiles
kilometers.
going off, keeping an eye on him. Not sure if he's going to go in or not. F5 engaging me very close behind. So the F5 is the bigger threat. The Viggen's hurt. Viggen shouldn't be a problem. But this F5 is definitely a problem. So I do manage to get guns on briefly, but don't quite manage the timing there. He does seem to be struggling a bit more, so he starts to extend. Would be great if I still had one of my Fox 2s, but even this angle's not exactly ideal. Come in for what should be a good hit here. Lined up nicely, and then that gun runs out of ammo. I have thankfully now bound this to my HOTAS so I can rearm a little bit easier to arm the second gun. And I think I said in a previous video, I do quite like this. It's pebbly suggested arming one gun at a time. The 30mm cannons on this thing, or 20mm, I forget which, but they really do hit hard, so you don't need all that many hits. Do get a good hit on that F5, and he does go in. So goes second gun kill. Didn't actually realise that at the time. That was Sundial 474, so guy killed me, I got him back. Now I'm still not in much of a better situation. I've got a Sabre on me, or at least a Sabre nearby. And the Sabre's the one thing I really fear when I'm in the farmer on this plane set. Since the Sabre really can outturn you, the Sabre also has guns just like you do. Good Sabre pilots are really, really dangerous on Enigma's Cold War caucus. Do you see him there, or a plane there, trying to pull onto me? I'm not exactly sure what those bombs are. I'm guessing someone's ditching their ordnance. Missile is launched, so I just tighten up my turn and dodges. It's a pretty good launch, came pretty close, but again, AIM-9Bs or equivalent really struggle on against anything that's even vaguely turning.
Fast, 2-ship Tiger 2. Chemist 1-1, merged.
So here I'm a bit stuck. I would like to extend, I would like to get out, but with the amount of planes around me, if I try and extend I'm just going to die, so I really don't have too much choice other than keeping up this turn, hoping that friendlies will come in and save me. With a bit of an issue that I have been flying a fair bit already. There's another missile that really didn't have a chance of tracking. But I have been flying for quite a bit, and so my fuel is getting a bit low. Do have some friendlies going in here. There's the Sabre again. He's still hugging me. Someone goes down up ahead. I don't know who. But at that point, my engines suddenly become rather quiet, and I realise that I'm not low on fuel, I am out of fuel. And so I decide just to save my pilot there. No way I'm going to make a safe landing in that combat environment, I just get shot down. But yeah, that was quite a lot of fun. Really interesting having those more sort of gunfight situations, and I do like the farmer for those. Do need to watch my energy. I think that's the thing that kept costing me again and again, because I was just running out of energy too much, pulling too hard turns, and ending up in a lot of trouble for it. Anyway, if you enjoyed that, please do let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, all really does help the channel. And otherwise, I hope to catch you in the next video. Until then, remember to be kind to yourself and everyone else. Cheers.